Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, or Senstaku, as you might know me on Twitter, the executive producer here, and I just want to thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us that people watch, listen to, and enjoy our shows. If you want to help us keep making these shows as fun and lively as they can be, please join your fellow fans in supporting us at our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms or by subscribing to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/finalshowfilms. It really means a lot to us that the amount of you who do support us continue to do so, especially our $25 plus tier supporters on Patreon. Antitonic, Cat Waterflame, Samantha Bates, Maureen Monty, and Bradley Alexander. Every little bit helps, so thank you to all of our patrons and subs. Check us out on Twitter at Final Show Films and on our website at www.finalshowfilms.com for updates, go-live notifications, and more. We love interacting with you, so feel free to tweet at us or email us at finalshowfilms@gmail.com. That being said, please relax and enjoy. And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Star Wars: The Twilight Nights. I'm John, and I'm your game master for the evening. And joining me today is Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig. I'm playing Crack, the Quarren Jedi artisan.
Who rolled a dark side for their destiny.
I sure did. For every single week, that is my result.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron. The Destiny pool's playing tricks on my eyes, but it's actually correct. I am playing Kitty, Alchemist, Wookiee, one dark side.
And Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Graz Tatha, the Wookiee Xi'an expert. And I rolled a single dark side as well.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Neres, a droid counselor. And also a dark side. This is going great.
This is our pattern every week.
And Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Avazia, Pureblood Sith, Duo Berserker.
Oh boy.
And Dark.
And William.
Hi, I am William, and I'm playing Corsorath, the pure-blooded Sith Makashi duelist, and Two Dark.
And Jeremy.
Hi.
It's up
Come
to you.
on, roll one light side for Jack to roll back to the dark.
My name is Jeremy, and when I am not seeking out the 24/7 title, I am playing Yana, Dathomirian Mystic, and let's see how this goes. Hey, I got it. Two.
And now that you've had your joke, I'm sliding it so we can't see the ring posts, just because WWE likes to get litigious.
They specifically gave these out for use.
Yeah, I'm being careful.
Fine.
Speaking from a
No,
YouTube
you can-
copyrights perspective, it doesn't matter if they distribute it with the explicit
There.
intent of your use.
That's better. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter if they give it out specifically for you to use. The bots will still copyright strike.
That's okay. That's a fair point. That's it.
And they may not even know it's been copyright struck because it's often an automated system by a
They've never
third
grabbed
party.
that stuff from the 411 YouTube videos
Yeah.
and flagged them. But yes, fair point. That's fine.
Congratulations. We haven't even started the stream and we're already wildly sidetracked.
Aw.
I do what I can.
Yeah, I know.
We have
And
started this.
because Jeremy gave us 2 light side points, Jack, go ahead and flip one of those to the dark, since you're still
Hey.
holier than thou, and that holier than thou attitude gets you in trouble.
Yes, it does.
So we're starting off with 1 light side, 8 dark. Seems appropriate. As a reminder, Destiny points don't care if you're a light or dark side user. They just give me power.
I mean, it fits because I'm currently staring an Imperial intelligence officer in the face.
Speaking of
so,
Star Wars, Twilight Nights, Episode 10, Cypher Agenda. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, the year is 3643 BBY, or before the Battle of Yavin, 10 years after the Treaty of Coruscant was signed. In the Outer Rim, aboard the Murashani station orbiting the Hutt-controlled slave colony of Zugin, the Twilight Knights have connected with Archon Zilda, who intends to hijack an Imperial supply convoy and use what they find to end a spice harvesting operation on the planet below. In the course of investigation aboard the station, Korsarath and Avasia found themselves meeting with Cypher 7, a member of Imperial Intelligence, and a cautious dance of information began, with Korsarath posing as Shadow 12, a secret agent within Imperial Intelligence operating independently of the rest.
Thank you for giving me my number, because I would not have remembered it.
Korsarath and Avasia, please give me perception checks while you're in this listening post. Difficulty 1, but I'm flipping 2 dark side points to upgrade the difficulty for both of you.
Okay.
So what's difficulty?
So difficulty 1, upgrade
Okay.
once.
Upgrade once. Okay.
Yep, upgrade the difficulty once.
I have a failure, but advantages.
Yeah.
All right. You two don't notice anything. So, Korsarath, you have been conversing with Cypher 7, a Chiss Imperial agent, and apparently the person in charge of the listening post aboard the station, having just informed him that you are currently hunting for Admiral name.
Dunbrick.
Thank you, Admiral.
Yeah.
Admiral Dunbrick, who is rumored to be on the planet below, hiding from the station's sensors, indicating that Admiral Dunbrick is potentially going to be attacking their supply convoy that's currently coming to trade with the Huts for spice. Cypher 7 has just indicated that he will be upping the security detail on the supply convoy.
Also, we've gotten into a conversation about getting transit down to the surface
Yes.
to hunt.
Well, you had indicated that you had your own ship, I believe. Or no,
Uh,
you indicated you had your own crew.
Yeah, I indicated that I had a group of compatriots who had their own business planet side that I've been traveling with.
Yes, yes. Well, I assume then that you have your own ship. Would you like us to try to provide you with something that might get you closer to the horizon where you can begin searching?
We do have our own ship, either passage to the surface or some other ability to transit down would be beneficial.
We can see what we can do. We'll have to vet your accomplices, of course, since we don't like working with people we don't know, obviously.
Well, most of them are relief agents, simply looking to help those that are in need.
Of course.
The Horizon Relief Agency is doing unbiased work.
Yes. And I'm a Hut.
There's a reason that I'm able to use them to travel.
Nevertheless, we'll want to meet them in person to do our vetting, as is standard Imperial procedure, of course.
Of course.
Well, once you have your crew ready, simply knock twice.
Do I know how racist in general Imperial intelligence tends to get?
Very.
Yeah, I thought so. Because like intelligence is the one that typically has to work with aliens a lot. But
Yeah. They work with aliens. Doesn't mean they like them.
I know.
Like, the only people that are typically allowed to get any position of power within intelligence are Chiss and humans and pureblood Sith.
Yeah.
Like, those are the three. Anyone else typically are reserved to cannon fodder activities or support duties.
I will warn, they're not aware of my current affiliations.
So you have ingratiated yourself into an existing organization rather than having them ingratiate themselves with you. And he sort of gestures to his face, indicating that he's talking about your face.
Mhm.
Doesn't have any complications.
Like I said, they do unbiased work. It creates complications when I have to travel to less Imperial aligned areas, but that's what the rest of them are for.
Of course. Well, I'll see about getting you a ship down to the planet if you'll go ahead and acquire your compatriots.
There are a pair of Wookiees, be forewarned.
Fair enough. No Trandoshan pilots, then. And
Then I suppose I'll gather them.
he will indicate towards the ladder that climbs back up.
Where shall I meet you?
Like I said, knock twice.
All right. Does that indicate he wants me to bring them here?
Yeah, probably. The listening post would be his center of power, and thus the place to, and also where all their information is, thus gathering any people that he wants to vet where his power base is would be the correct move.
Mm-hmm. All right. I will climb back up the ladder.
All right, you climb back up. Meanwhile, Graz. You and
Hey,
Crack
yep.
are in a bar. The door opens. You hear the door sliding open.
Okay.
And you hear the sound of boots marching in. Almost in unison, but not quite.
Turn to look.
That's the one. You hear a strong, authoritarian feminine voice say. And you see a pair of these black and red clad Mandalorians just tase the shit out of an alien at the bar, seemingly out of nowhere. They you hear the door open, you hear that's the one, and then a pair of these Mandalorians just dart from out of your view to into your view with shock batons and just jam them simultaneously into the left and right side of this alien at the bar, who seizes up and collapses to the ground.
Right.
Some cuffs and chains are attached to them. And as these pair are doing this, a third figure steps into frame, presumably the one who spoke. The figure you see is looks to be female human. Wearing the same kind of Mandalorian Beskargum, but no helmet. She has long, straight red hair, green eyes, pale skin, freckles. Wearing a large red cloak with sort of a heavy fur lining to it. And this, again, black and red Beskargum, but with the entire left arm chromed out instead of black or red.
But still armor.
Still
not
armor,
like
though.
a prosthetic.
Yeah, still
Right,
armor.
okay.
Oh, okay. Crack was about to get real excited.
Still armor, just the armor is chrome rather than black and red.
Right.
When you say chromed out to someone's arm in a sci-fi setting, it usually means cybernetics.
Fair.
This isn't Shadowrun. This is Star Wars, though. So,
on one hip you see the scabbard of a long sword. On the other you see a very heavily customized blaster. As she steps up,
Crack's back in.
She steps up to the semi-conscious thing on the ground. Uses the heel of her boot to roll it over. Yep. Drag him back to the Queen Harlot, and then she takes a sit. She sits down on a stool at the bar as these two drag their prisoner away.
Was there anything notable about the prisoner species, anything like that Graz picked up on?
It was a what are they called?
Physical description?
The slug people.
Ithorian?
Yes, it was an Ithorian.
Okay.
Ithorians are they're largely bipedal humanoids, but where normally chest and shoulders would be, it just turns into what looks like a large slug.
Yeah.
If you bought
curved...
Star Wars toys in the early '80s, Hammerhead.
Yeah, they're the hammerheads.
Yep.
I was confused when you said slug.
They look like a slug.
They look like hammerheads.
Is there
They don't
anything
look like
notable
sharks,
about the blaster that she has? You mentioned it was heavily modified.
Oh yeah, it's fairly long. It's fairly well built. It's got a multi-optic sight on it. Looks like it has a grappling hook attached to the bottom of it as well. It's very nice.
Has Graz ever heard of the Queen Harlot before?
Give me an outer rim roll.
Difficulty?
Difficulty 2.
Okay.
I've just got the Ithorian soundbite from KOTOR 2 in my head.
2 successes and a threat.
The Queen Harlot is a pirate ship. That is known to scour the Outer Rim primarily. It is it's run by an all-female crew, varying species, and not much is known other than that they are wanted by several government agencies. The Hutts have a deal with them of some kind, which is why they primarily operate in Hutt space at the moment. And they do piratey stuff as well as the occasional bounty hunting stuff.
Cool.
Gross. Do you see that grappling hook? I think those might be bounty hunters.
Pirates. Crack, but close enough.
Oh. Why are they taking that being then?
My limited experience with pirates is that they are what you might call equal opportunity opportunists.
I see. None of this is whispered, by the way, unless Graz is whispering.
Graz is keeping a fairly low tone.
Okay, then Crack will match Graz's voice.
You also
after that.
you notice that you also would have noticed that the space jazz band playing in the bar has not stopped. Like this isn't a regular enough occurrence. At least things like this are regular enough occurrences that they just like keep on.
If they're pirates and they might not be bounty hunters, do you think they might be slavers? Maybe this could be something we should look into.
Well, there are a certain number of us here on this station. You'll observe that this woman commands a crew that contains at least 2 individuals who are not concerned about publicly displaying their Beskagum, and therefore one can reasonably assume that they are trained Mandalorians.
3. She's also wearing Beskar. She's not wearing the helmet.
Right, she's not wearing the helmet, so that is not a fight that we are prepared for. That is something where we are wildly outclassed and outnumbered.
Crack's tentacles go sort of straight and rigid, which you would associate with probably both shock and a little bit of outrage. And I wasn't suggesting we have a fight. I just thought we could ask them some straightforward questions.
Oh, well, in that case, if you're simply speaking of a fact-finding mission, yes, absolutely. Go buy her a drink.
Oh, excellent.
And he slips Crack, and they slip Crack 10 credits.
Oh
Crack's
boy.
gonna get himself killed.
Meanwhile,
so excited.
flashback to Corserath going, yes, I have a spy crew.
Literally everyone trying to get Crack killed.
As Crack excitedly stands up and walks forward to, I guess, the one with the heavily modified blaster.
The only one left because the other 2 dragged the other guy off.
And walks up and says, "Hello, I would like to buy you a drink and ask you some questions."
Oh my god.
He's gonna die.
You
And he is holding up the credits.
She turns, looks at you. Graz, make me a cool roll.
What's my difficulty?
Difficulty 2.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
3 successes and a threat.
For some reason, the look on her face, as you look at her face, the phrase "a fool is born every minute" runs through your head for some reason.
Yep.
As she just smiles and, "I'll gladly take a drink. Come on, sit down," and just like waves a hand for Crack to come sit down.
Crack turns around, gives Graz a thumb up, and then we'll sit down.
Graz will just take their half empty mug of whatever it was that I had purchased, give him a little bit of a raise, and slam the rest of it back.
I think it was Zinfar.
Yes, it was.
Does she look to be human?
Yes.
Okay. Crack just thinks for a moment, realizes he doesn't necessarily know offhand what to suggest, and says, "So, what can I get you?"
She looks over the counter. Corellian whiskey wouldn't be a bad starting place.
2 of those, please. Is there, assuming there is some sort of droid or...
Do you literally only have those 10 credits?
No,
Okay.
I have like 10 more. I do not have a lot, though.
15 credits for a glass.
Okay, that will tap me out completely, but Crack will reach into his pocket, add the 20 remaining credits in his pocket, and put all of them on the bar.
Okay. So you get 2 glasses of Corellian whiskey.
Big ol'
Your
zero.
last 30 credits.
Hey, we're here to strike it rich. Gotta spend money to make money. Crack is vaguely aware he's heard that before.
Ooh, I see we've got a big spender here, she says.
I've never had Corellian whiskey. Is it good?
Oh, it's very good, she says as she just downs the shot and puts it back down.
Can I try it and see if I like it? What would I roll to see if I like it?
Go ahead and give me what's the equivalent of a Constitution roll here? A resilience check, difficulty
resilience,
3.
Yeah. 3 threat.
So have you ever Craig, as a person, have you ever straight shot Tennessee whiskey?
I've had Tennessee whiskey. I don't tend to.
It's a sipping
giant
whiskey.
Shots of stuff.
Yeah, it's a sipping whiskey. You just shot a sipping whiskey
Oh,
with no prior experience to drinking it. You
and
know
so
how to
what,
react.
What did she says? What did she say about it?
She said it was good.
No, it is not. He puts the glass back down. Yeah, his tentacles are sort of trying to get it off of his beak.
Might be an acquired taste.
You can have the rest of mine. He pushes whatever is left in the glass over to her.
That's fine. She upturns her own glass, puts it back on the ground, just taps the bar again, and more are coming. She apparently has a tab here.
Okay. So I'm Crack Topa. What's your name?
Guinaria.
Guinaria. Are you here for bounties or slaves?
I don't tend to limit myself to one operation or another.
Oh, a little of both.
There is no
I see.
affirmation or denial.
So, how would a real go-getter like myself get into the field of bounties and/or slaves?
Fuck me.
Well, I just so happen to have an opening on my crew if you'd so desire to fill it.
Oh, fantastic. Let's see. I don't have my CV. Well, I have an incredible amount of experience with engineering and computers. Do you need a slicer? Oh, droids.
I think we can find someplace to fit you in, she says as she throws an arm over your shoulder, does another shot really quick. I need you to make another resilience check, this one difficulty 4.
Okay. Why do I keep losing resilience? I mean, losing where it is, I'm probably going to lose the roll too.
It's right under piloting space.
No, I found it. I clicked it and it just didn't go. I'm going to hit it again. So apologies if you get a couple of them in a row.
Roll 20 might also just be having issues because it has recently seen an increase in traffic.
Yeah, I'm reloading.
You don't say.
If you suddenly get like 3-4 resilience
There we go.
rolls, please let me know.
We're going to go with the first one, which is a massive success.
Nice.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Do I feel anything? That just
Yes,
happened, or-
you
Okay.
feel your entire body go rigid.
Okay.
You manage to maintain some amount of maneuverability, but you are currently limited in the amount of physical range that you can maneuver.
Okay. So Crack freezes up a little bit and looks over and gives his best attempt at a sly look and goes, "Oh, you wouldn't be meaning me as a slave on the ship, would you?"
Well, a technically competent cargo is always useful, she says. She just sort of grabs you by the collar and stands up and begins to try dragging you away.
Intercept at the door.
Don't step in. Don't step in. I'm kidding.
So, Crack, you can give me a, this will be an upgraded difficulty because of your current status, but not impossible. You
Okay.
can give me a athletics, I think is the roll.
And difficulty what?
Difficulty 2, upgraded once.
Okay.
To try to get away from her grip.
Did that roll? I didn't hear anything.
Not yet, but it probably will in a minute.
Okay. There we go.
There it goes.
Yeah.
All right, success
So-
and an advantage.
You, as she stands up and begins dragging you, you manage to flail hard enough in your semi-paralyzed state to get away from her and hit the ground. As she's sort of standing up there with hands free, she sort of looks down at you. Oh, you managed to resist. I'm impressed. You're hardier than I took you for. Graz, are you still going to intercept, or are you trying to get to her now, rather than waiting?
Making an actual maneuver toward
Okay, yeah, so you
her.
You get up to her. She sort of turns and looks up at you.
From the floor, Crack goes, "I told you I would be a real asset to your crew and not as cargo."
Well, she looks up at the Wookiee.
Graz doesn't even look at Gwynaria. Just bends down, begins to pick Crack up. Well, Crack, if you're finished with your socializing, we're due back on board.
Oh, would you like to join him? She says to you.
Glance over.
Crack is just trying to get up.
We have our own assignment, but I appreciate the invitation.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, we'll do that.
Uh-oh. Not that. Do the other thing.
Oh, wait, hang on. You have to have difficulty. The second one, not the first one. Hang on. Now I have to look up information.
Rescue mission.
So first of all,
Oh boy.
Graz,
Yeah.
you take 8 damage, pierce
Okay.
1. So your armor, your reduce your soak by 1. As she
Okay.
just cold cocks you in the gut, and you feel it. This woman is punching several times higher than her weight.
Okay.
I need to read what concussive does.
Probably depends on the.
All right, item qualities.
It's not the same as disorient.
Concussive. Weapons attack leaves this target shell shocked from mighty blows or punishing shockwaves, unable to perform those basic actions. Target is staggered for a number of rounds equal to the Okay, so you are staggered for 1 round.
Okay.
The thing as you just sort of double over as she hits you in the gut, and then she leans in really close to your head. Tell Saris her daughter says hello. And she just one more hit as she kicks you in the head and walks off.
Can I try to do anything before she walks off, or am I too paralyzed?
You can what are you trying to do? Depends on what you're trying to do.
Spit ink in her face.
Yeah, you can try to spit ink.
Okay.
So that's another 8 damage. Pierce 1.
Okay.
But she would have a setback to that because of the ink, unless that happened before.
What does the ink do?
It adds a set.
Is
it
it
adds
just,
a
it's just a
setback
thing
die.
you do? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I take 2 strain and it happens.
Yeah, let me roll that. Wait for it to roll.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. 8 damage, and you're 8 damage, and you're concussed for another round. So you're stunned for another round as she just kicks you in the head and walks off with some ink in her face that she wipes off with one hand. You can sort of, through a bit of a hazy gleam, you see the cloak billowing out behind her as she walks out the door. No one's coming to help you. Everyone is minding their own business right now.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna try to stagger to my my knees and give Graz a hand.
The paralytic effect is beginning to wear off, Crack.
Okay, I'll try to help Graz up.
You help a staggered Graz to his feet, or to their feet.
Oh. Well, that went rather poorly.
You see, Crack, this is why we mind our own business in places like this.
And
so this just was all part of your plan to get punched in the gut twice in a row.
Also, just to make it clear, Graz, you're the only one that heard that sentence. She whispered it in your ear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's fair. You have always struck me as a very intelligent Quarren. And Graz is sort of trying to usher Crack towards the exit.
Crack pulls a stimp pack. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But one does come away with the conclusion that practical lessons rather than theoretical ones have more of an impact on you.
Right. So buying people a drink at the bar gets my friend punched in the gut twice.
Well, it looked like you were suffering some impacts as well, but yes.
I'm not sure.
That does happen.
Can I try to figure out what she did? Because she didn't actually physically strike me. She just put an arm around my shoulder, correct?
I'm back. What I miss?
Oh, Gwenaria didn't actually strike Crack, right? She just put an arm around his shoulder?
Yeah, just put an arm around you.
Do I know what she did? Or can I try to figure it out?
Give me a medicine check. Difficulty 2.
Yeah, okay.
See, I'm just picturing like hug needles, where it's just like a series of injectors on the inside of the armor's arm. So we just give someone an arm around the shoulder and it just stabs them with poison.
For advantage, but no success.
You have no idea what happened.
I think you took the worst of it, though. Do you want the stim pack? Crack holds out his stim pack to Graz.
On the table.
Graz will take the stim pack and just slap it over wherever the boot hit their face.
I think it's a needle. That's
Oh,
always
okay.
how I pictured
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Don't
it's
stab your
like it's like a
face.
needle. You just
Okay.
jab it
It's
in.
it's
Okay.
injectable Bacta, I think. Or
For some
Yes.
reason,
whatever
I
it would
heard
have been at this
patch
Colto.
rather than pack, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stim pack.
And- Stim pack. Yep. So yeah, Graz will administer it.
Yeah.
StarCraft 2
Fire
stim,
it up.
StarCraft stim noise.
And that's just a flat 5 off the top, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I appreciate it.
So, other than the drinks, why did you want to come to the bar?
I was hoping to get a bit of information from someone who was a little closer to our level of operations, but seems our reptilian friends over there were not taking the bait.
Should I go ask them too?
I think that moment has passed.
All right. Maybe we should get back to the others then.
Probably wise. And Graz will just flip open their comm link and call.
There might be a comm call incoming to everyone else in a minute.
Okay. Yep.
Where Course Wrath is at right now.
We'll say about right. So of course, you guys you're out in the hallway now. You're no longer in the listening post.
How would I know how long to expect a tail?
Probably until you leave the space station.
Okay, so all the way back to the ship then.
Yep.
So yeah, he'll make it back to the ship before he actually pulls his comm link out then.
So
I mean, do you stop to pick up the person who's been waiting for you this whole time?
Like, just give you the wave, but don't actually like stop. Like indicate you and signal to follow as I head back to the ship.
Questioning look and then hello.
So Graz would have their comm link out first.
Okay.
And it would be, you guys were probably about halfway back to the ship by the time Graz.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Graz will thumb theirs open. Kitty, where are you? Where can we find you?
I assume nothing has happened to me and Neri since last check-in.
Nope, you're still wandering through the bazaar.
Window shopping, and I'll give some relevant landmark.
Graz will do their best to follow that and go find their sister and our medic.
Finding sibling.
You can very easily do that. By the time you guys find them, of course, Rathavasi and Ilyana will be back at the ship.
Okay. So once we're back on the ship and safely sealed,
yeah.
Corsarath will pull out his comm link. First, directly to our Archon, whose name I can never remember.
Zilda.
Archon Zilda. Zilda, how good do you think you are at stealth?
Supremely. Why?
I've got a potential passage down to the planet with the aid of Imperial intelligence. They'll want to do a background check on everyone I bring, but you're the only one with a background to find.
Interesting. Ball's in your court. I'll leave it there.
If you think you can tail us without being spotted, you might be able to hitch a ride on our transport.
I'll follow you.
And then to everyone else, whenever everyone's done with their business, if we could meet back at the ship, I may have a way down to the surface, and a conversation will be needed to have with some Imperial intelligence officers.
Graz will just look at the other three. Well, that didn't take long.
Right. Yes, we are on our way.
I see you found a bar fight.
Yes, we did. Unfortunately, it yielded very little actionable information.
Graz got kicked in their face and I can barely move.
That's expected. Let's go.
I know what that is, because I think I do. That sounds like.
I mean, based off of what? That Crack can barely move? Crack, you're it's mostly worn off by this point as well, Crack.
That could be anything.
Okay, fair. Alcohol does tend to have that effect. How much did you drink?
Almost
I had
two.
one. He had, yes, almost 2.
2. Perhaps next time it would be better to stick to 1.
A little less open conversation until we're back on board the Shio, I would think. And Graz is definitely looking over their shoulder as we walk.
Sure, give me a perception check. Difficulty 2, and I'm going to spend a dark side to upgrade that.
Just because
Upgrade it once?
we're
Okay.
essentially making another route as heading back to the ship.
Mhm.
Can I make another look like I was doing before for anything that strikes me as particularly interesting or actionable for what we're looking for?
As far as, like, more specific.
What's happening at the stalls, the general temperament.
Yeah.
People. Same thing I was doing last episode.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember what you were doing last time.
Sorry.
It's been a week, and lots of stuff has happened.
Yeah.
Graz got 1 success and 3 advantage.
Yes. Kitty, go ahead and give me an insight difficulty 2, and I'm going to spend
Cool or vigilance?
cool. And I'm going to spend another dark side to upgrade the difficulty on that.
Yeah.
All right, diff 2 with 1 upgrade, just to reiterate. And sideways scroll does not work on the character sheet; it only works on the map. One success.
So Graz,
Mm-hmm.
you see there are certain figures in the crowd that are watching you. You're not certain why or for who, but they definitely have an eye on your group as a whole.
Okay.
Kitty, similarly, you're getting the sense that your group has been tagged as something. You're not certain what you've been tagged as or by whom. But the collection of individuals that are your group have been identified by the general consciousness of some part of this space station to be something. So you've been identified as something.
Just to clarify, that wasn't an experience Neres and I were having when it was just the two of us.
No, when it was you window shopping, you were just sort of blending in. No one was really paying you much attention, and there wasn't a whole lot that you were picking out going on other than the general day-to-day, black market bazaar. Yeah. Now it feels like people have identified you as something, kind of like if a quartet of Imperial officers walked through, the station would identify them as Imperial officers. Yeah. You've been categorized.
We're not just a Wookiee and their droid who happened to be here shopping.
Yeah.
You've been tagged with a group affiliation of some kind.
In the context of like Dura Dura, we now have faces as opposed to being blobs.
Yes.
We've got metadata. We just don't know what it is yet.
That's another good way to put it.
So, of course, we're at the wait for everyone else.
Yeah, I assume our quartet is just headed straight back to the Shio and boarding.
If that's what you want to do, you can do that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that puts us back through the checkpoint, but, whatever.
Would we, because I'm trying to remember what happened when we got off the ship we had.
He data spiked the droids and...
that's right. Yeah. Would I think that might be a problem if we have to get back off again at some point or not?
It doesn't seem so. It seems like the data spike registered you all as being here.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I think heading back. Probably just also doing the same thing, just trying, because that was ominous and strange message, and that's got my nerves up. So I don't know. Near is just looking out as we're going, but following along.
Are you trying to sort of just see if anything's going on, or are you trying to read the room as you're going?
read the room.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Cool, difficulty 2, and I'm going to spend another dark side point to upgrade the
Okay.
difficulty.
Sure. Difficulty 2. Upgrade 1. Cool. A success.
You get the same thing Kitty was getting. Like, your group has been categorized somehow.
Can I tell if that is a positive or a negative thing, I guess?
It could be either.
Okay.
It could be either.
Okay. Fair enough. All right.
Once we're back on the Shio, though, just go straight to find Corserath, who I assume is around somewhere.
He's probably waiting in the lounge.
Yeah, we'll say you all reconvene in the lounge.
Okay.
Imperial intelligence, really?
Well, it was sort of a stumbling into a problem that I had to turn to our advantage as fast as I could.
Did you?
As best as I can manage.
What is this advantage then?
Trip to the surface on Imperial side.
On their vessel?
So, to briefly run down, Imperial intelligence believes that I am an operative working for them to hunt down one General Dunbrick, or Admiral Dunbrick.
Admiral.
Sorry, yeah, one Admiral Dunbrick who might be located planet side.
All right.
I have made them aware that I am working with a relief group that is not aware of my affiliations, but they want to meet everyone to do a background check before bringing us all planet side, because I've mentioned that we have reasons to get down there.
All right.
Most of you don't have a background that Imperial intelligence would care about.
Fair.
I also do not have a scan.
Are we all here for this?
This would be everyone once.
Yeah.
everyone's
Okay.
gathered.
Everybody in the lounge.
Crack looks over to Nerys and says, I think we might be able to devise a way around that, if you're willing.
All right. Yes, I am open to suggestions.
It seems to me, John, do you want me to roll, or can I just make up a plan and we'll roll to see if I can actually do it? Or do you want me to roll and see if I can think one up?
Make up a plan. If you have a plan, say it first,
Okay.
and then I'll have you roll to see what it does.
We could take a standard droid circuit board, place it at an accessible place where you have additional space within your chassis, make it available, and then allow that to serve as a dummy scan for anyone seeking to do so.
That would cover any sort of routine scans that might be done.
Probably, he says with confidence.
Give me a mechanics check. Difficulty 2.
This is a theory roll, so I can't use force on it.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
You don't have the
One
force
success,
theory
two
power,
advantage.
unfortunately.
That would be cool, though. One success, two advantage.
That's just a theory. So
A force theory.
that would so it would depend on what their scanning protocols are, whether or not that would work. That would certainly work for most standard things, because typically when you're scanning a droid, you plug into the droid and force call their history.
Right.
Not forces in the magic power, but forces in the command line. You basically call their history from the board, and you read the details, because droids passively record everything they do.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to make up, looking at Neri's 300 some odd years worth of data.
How
But
much of
you
that
could
would be
do
lost
that.
with memory wipe?
And depending on memory wipe, but you'd still have to cache the memory wipes. So you could stack an amount of memory wipes into that very easily, so that it covers a certain period of that. But you'd still have to make up an amount of information that would go onto the circuit board. But that would work for a standard checkpoint scan or thing like that.
Would we still have to make up background if we took a motherboard or data core or whatever it would be from an existing droid?
I mean, it would depend. Like, if you, for instance, took one from one of your crab droids and tried to apply it to Nere's, it would.
No, I'm not going
It
to.
would. Well, no. What I'm indicating is like Nere's is very clearly not a crab droid. Like
Nere's, you're now Clax 2.0.
it would depend on what it was, because the information that is there would absolutely still be there, but would it make sense to the person reading it when they look at Nere's?
Okay.
Probably want to find a circuit board from like a scout droid.
Because like Nere's looks like a combat droid, as opposed to a maintenance droid or a gonk droid or an astromech droid. So, like, it would, if you found the right kind of a droid that's the right age, you could certainly just make do, but most likely you're going to have to program something to do it.
Okay. With that information, Crack's response is unchanged.
Yeah.
Probably, he says with confidence.
All right. So then we do this background check, and then what?
Then they'll be planting us down on the surface between the operations that we are protecting, he says with air quotes, and the operations of the potential Admiral Dunbrick.
Right.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Unfortunately,
You said the name of the movie.
unfortunately had to work with what we were given. Once Imperial intelligence noticed that I was present, it started tailing me.
Okay. I think this is good, but also bad. But also, I have follow-up questions.
Best case scenario, though, Corsarath. What do we get from this connection?
Passage to the surface with an Imperial excuse, which doesn't necessarily exclude us from Imperial scrutiny, but does get us past a lot of the checks that would be in our way.
It gets you in a lot closer. But
And how are we getting back?
That
was
story.
my follow-up.
with the way you described it, we don't know what your job is, or all of us collectively don't know what your job is with Imperial intelligence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe half of us could relief agency down to the surface some other way with an out, and half of us could go with you the Imperial intelligence route.
We were already spotted being tailed on the station. It may be too late for that.
Well, it's not a question of... I guess it doesn't matter.
We're gonna make it there. I just don't know how many of us will.
And
It's not going to end well.
I know.
Aren't we?
it's the reason we wanted to come here, that we didn't want to deal with subterfuge in politics, because we didn't think it was going to be a thing we were good at.
I didn't expect Imperial intelligence to be on this station and spot me.
I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I think you made the best of a bad situation.
William, I walk around parading the fact that I'm a Sith.
Oh, no, yeah.
Imperial intelligence spots me.
Out of character, yes, absolutely. In character, Corsarath was like, there should be no...
No, I understand the in-character reasoning. It was just funny. It's like, I never expected this to happen. Holding blowtorch, houses on fire.
Avazia will say, we maybe shouldn't have been following him so openly.
No. But I also didn't expect him to be who he was.
Never expect Cypher agents to be who they are. That's how they get their job done.
Yeah.
Never expect the Spanish Inquisition.
No.
Should we touch base with the Archon?
I've done a little bit. I've mentioned the situation to him. He believes that he can be quiet enough to hitch a ride, which would get him to the surface as well.
He also explicitly said, the ball's in your court. Like, as in, he's going to follow your lead, so whatever you decide to do.
Yeah, but he's also intending to follow our lead on this particular situation.
That seems
can't-
tremendously unwise.
I can't say that I will feel comfortable, and certainly if we have literally any other option, I'm not going to put myself in Imperial power just to get passage down to the planet. So you can consider this I will be on board the Shio with Group 2.
If we can manage that.
Regardless.
What?
The horse
other op-
already said that we had a
Yeah, they are aware that there are at least some Wookiees present.
And
Because
simply,
I have to prime them for the fact that there will be aliens, and the most obvious ones are the Wookiees.
We don't have to necessarily go down in their ship, though, correct? We could. It's just with Imperial cover.
Well,
We could request we use our own ship. That would solve the worry about how we will get back without a ship of our own.
the problem there is
Yes,
that
but-
creates the worry of how we get down without getting shot.
We will have, if we go through this background check, we will have their codes. Correct?
Indeed.
So it seems that our two choices are currently go to wherever this intelligence cell is located and submit to their review, or hit the afterburners right now. I assume
Or-
those.
Jeremy, real quick.
Nope.
Oh.
Moments passed.
Oh, sorry about that, man.
Sorry.
or her, never mind. You're looking at it from an angle, and you're not changing your angle around. This is not a problem with one side. It is a piece of glass that can be looked through in many ways to distort the image you see.
That was a very nice metaphor. What does it mean?
Thought it was obvious.
No.
It was.
Thank you, Eliana. I appreciate the support. I was trying to say that this is part of the tools we now have. And yes, we have to do something about it, otherwise we look very suspicious. But you're tagging along with what they're gonna look in the logs and see as a relief organization. Hopefully they don't trace that back to anything more. It's pretty reasonable that not the entire relief organization is in on the Sith plan and wants to go down to defend the Sith outposts and do an assassination of a Jedi.
True.
We're kind of limited. Sorry, go ahead.
Or you reviewed with your superiors and have determined that you need to go with a smaller squad. Or a billion other reasons. One of your contacts got in touch with you and you need to follow down two leads at once.
I've fortunately pulled the one card that only people in intelligence would know about, and that no one can call you on. At least not without the perfect situation.
Okay.
Breck laughs. No,
So
sorry, it's just funny because I remember when we got the ship. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jeremy. My
Nope, go
connection is
ahead.
weird. No. My
Go ahead.
connection's weird tonight. You already got talked over once. Go for it.
Okay. So here's the thing. If people aren't willing to go, then there's reason for them to look suspiciously. Apparently, they already know that there's at least some Wookiees involved. Did you say Wookiee or Wookiees?
That's a question for the GM.
He
Did I
said
say
a pair
plural?
of Wookiees.
Did I say a pair?
Mm-hmm.
I believe you said a pair, yes.
If the Wookiees aren't willing to go, then there's reason for them to wonder why there's something wrong. You've tied our hands a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Even in that situation, there are many ways to use the same tool.
Yes, for sure. I'm just saying I'm trying to lay out the dynamics of what our situation is and what we can and probably can't get away with now.
I can certainly just bring the ones who, quote, I think I can trust.
Also, one Wookiee was very publicly injured. If we're looking for a reason for both of them not to go with us, Crack
True.
will look at Graz and Kitty to see what they think of that.
If we need an excuse, that one works as well as any. So, are we
What did
going
you
for this?
fight with?
3 Mandalorians, only one of which was present.
Ah,
Oh, just one Mandalorian.
I like the way you phrased that. 3 Mandalorians, but only one of them was there.
The entire population of Mandalore, only one of which was present.
I mean, culturally speaking, you might say.
That
But,
kind of reads like, dude, you have no idea how many people I had to beat down.
Yeah, it was none.
Graz will sort of laugh a bit at that, shake their head. So, we're going for this review then? That is the next
Well,
step?
I will certainly have to, and likely Avasia will as well, having been present.
I'll go.
You are the experts on the intelligence side, so we'll be taking your lead on this, I think.
Anyone who
Is it
joins-
going to look more suspicious if some of us stay behind, or should we all just
would
show up?
I know the answer to that?
You were told to bring your whole crew.
Yeah.
Whatever
Oh, no,
that constitute says.
I can tell you for sure. A ship's making it planetside. I can't tell you who ends up safely on it and makes it down to the surface safely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely instructed to bring my whole crew.
I'll go. I have literally nothing to hide.
Yes, that's the advantage most of us have, is that we don't actually have a background, with the exceptions of myself and Avasia.
And Nerys.
Does
And
not
there
say
is.
anything though, Crack.
I mean, do we? Do we honestly? Because a lot of us have been not forthcoming in that respect. So do you know if we do?
Do any of you have a background that Imperial intelligence might care about, aside from myself, Avasia, and Nerys?
We have no idea what sort of things Imperial intelligence cares about, so
Have
we
you
can't
been-
really
have you
answer
been
that
Have you
question.
been strongly and publicly affiliated with the Republic or against the Empire?
Night Sisters.
Do I know how strongly the Night Sisters associate with the Empire or not?
Not at all, which is a problem.
Yeah.
If,
There's a moment where Kitty looks concerned before. No, probably not.
yeah, the code phrase is, if you're not with us, you're against us.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, I'm working with a relief organization, so
What's the general affiliation of DAC during this time period?
Republican. It's a Republic world.
Okay.
that said, a lot of Quarrens are neutral with like hut cartels.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, Crack shrugs and says, not anyone looking into my background would see I left DAC as a teenager and have been operating in the Outer Rim since then.
All right, well then, let's get going, I suppose.
And for the purposes of this, you need to not use mine or Avasia's names. As far as anyone is concerned, my name is Zaxel. And Avasia, if you can think of a name. I
I
have
can.
one if you don't.
Zaxel.
Rascal. What do you say, Avazia? Rascal.
Shut up, Crack.
Okay, shutting up.
They'll need to know what it is.
Well, this sounds like a great time for us to go on a break. So, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Please stay tuned for these commercial messages. We're back. So, you're still in the lounge.
Yeah.
So now Crack laughs, sort of out of nowhere, and says, I was just thinking about the fact that Corsaroth was telling Graz that they shouldn't have unilaterally decided the name of the ship, but now it's Corsaroth that's unilaterally decided which way we're getting into the mission.
Unfortunately, not by intent.
Crack looks around, sees no one else is laughing, and sort of
Well,
settles down a
on
little
the
bit in his
other
chair.
hand, none of the rest of us that went off to find a way in found any options. So maybe we should thank Corsaroth for being the one successful investigator.
I
I was
don't.
almost captured by pirates.
I don't feel particularly successful, but I'm working with what I've got. Avazia, have you
I'm
thought of a name?
trying to hype you up. Just accept the win.
I appreciate it.
So you were looking for
I have a name.
information, not ways in.
Is it a win though?
Oh,
You had a way
Graz
in.
and I
It was
did
your
find
ship.
out. Speaking of information, Graz and I did find out about pirates.
All right.
Okay.
What do you know about pirates now?
They're Mandalorians, and they do some slaving and some bounty hunting, possibly
Right.
interchangeably.
Graz, this is one of those times where I don't understand the mundane workings of the physical world and require more details.
We ran into some pirates in the bar. And that's when I got all this, gesturing to the bludgeoned face.
Right, so we avoid them.
Hopefully in the future, yes.
But they may have some information regarding the slave markets if we should need it.
They are, however,
willing
not
to talk to
forthcoming
you
with such
after you got into
information.
a fist fight with them.
I bought one of them a drink, and she tried to take me back to a ship.
Ah! I am getting context now. Okay.
Actually, probably looks to Ilyana this time. Am I misunderstanding again?
No.
Oh,
I don't
I'm
think
sorry.
you are.
That must have been traumatic, I think.
It was not how I anticipated the interchange going.
Well, all things considered, that is a significantly lower priority than the Imperial intel we have.
Avazia, you come up with something.
Yes. I have.
Corsaroth, how long can we delay? Crack, how long is it going to take to make nears that board?
I can get started right away. Is this a computer's check?
A mechanics check first to cobble it together, and then a computer's check
Okay.
to program it.
The computer's check would take half as
Something where
long, thanks to a talent I took.
non-specialized
That's why I asked.
support would be of any use.
No, non-specialized support would not be of any use at this point in time. But your droids will be able to help you.
Yeah. So how long will this take me?
To cobble together the board, not very long. To program it,
Yeah.
depending on your role, anywhere from an hour to several hours.
It will take the programming.
Low
will take,
end an hour.
Okay. The programming will take half as long, thanks to one of my talents.
Yeah, that's why. That's why you
Okay,
low end
okay,
an
all right.
hour.
Got it. Okay.
Programming is not a
quick.
quick thing for people that aren't familiar with programming.
Especially
So
when you have to write 300 years of believable character backstory in your programming.
And even if 250 of it are memory deleted, that's still that same line copied several times.
Listen,
is-
I've seen the hackers and I know how this works.
You click some
When you-
buttons, there's
when you
flashing
s-
lights, and you're done.
When you
Alright.
surf the Gibson and find the garbage file.
The password is always swordfish.
Anyway.
I can get started on it right away. I would say an estimate. What would it be, John? 3 hours as a fair. Median
Three
time.
hours. 3 hours seems like a good cushioned estimate.
Okay.
That would give you the chance to come in way under it and be impressive.
Okay. I think Crack's concern is less that and more just he doesn't want people yelling at him.
Yeah.
But I should be able to have it done within 3 hours, maybe less.
That is a reasonable amount of time for an agent to come up with an excuse to drag along several people.
Very good. I'll get started.
Do I need to come?
Yes. No, but you might want to. You can start making up background for yourself.
Yes. Sure. I'll follow.
You might enjoy this as they're walking off. It's similar to creating a character in a game I used to play, Dungeons and Dianogas. Crack will start explaining how to make a character.
Game within the game situation.
Oh, I cannot wait for us to play like to get to a point where we're like actually playing like bunkers and badasses in the middle of a like
So pitch that takes place in universe, in the fictionalized in universe version of that place where everyone worships the crash star destroyer.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like
Valid.
that is the semi-real setting that you are basing your module on.
There you go.
That's your medieval Europe.
Avazia.
Yes.
You thought of a name?
Yes, I have.
And what is it so that we know?
Amito.
Isn't that...
Yes.
They can find that name in records.
Fine. Then I'll think of something else.
I was going to offer Astrid as a name, if you wanted it.
Fine.
Narrator's voice. It's not fine.
It was not fun.
Just tell me when we're leaving. She's gonna walk off.
I apologize again.
So, go ahead and give me that mechanics roll, Crack, while other people are presumably doing other things.
Difficulty?
Difficulty 3 to cobble together thing.
Okay. Definitely going to use manipulate on this.
Okay.
Of course, Wrath will make sure that everyone is briefed on what the replacement names are for everyone.
Oh my god! I
Nope.
just used the.
Could I
Can the
have a different name?
If you want one.
Can the Crabbots help me?
Yes, the Crabbots can help you. So
Excellent.
Crabbots will make Crabbots first will make a mechanics check difficulty 2.
No, we can do a combined check.
Oh yeah.
I can use
sorry.
the-
If you're going to do a combined check, then yes, you can do that.
Yeah. I'm
Sorry,
gonna
I
do
was-
a combined check. Use their skill and my attribute.
Got it.
If you
I
want, I think you can pass a Ratataki if you want.
Eliana has hair.
That's fair, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So she says, "I didn't say I know whether I want a different name, a different name or not. I said, should I have one?"
Do I
Even if
know how dangerous it is to keep that name?
The name. So the trick with Ilyana is that they're not going to know her name,
Right.
but they will know her features.
Yeah.
If you don't try to, you could theoretically try to pass her off as a Ratataki, or not a Ratataki. Wrong word. As a Zebraki. You just have to keep a hood on.
Or just as a garden variety Dathomirian, because not every Dathomirian is.
Not every Dathomirian is a Night Sister. No.
It
But
definitely does invite things.
it'd be easier to disguise you as not a Night Sister
Plus,
if you.
I don't think. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think all the Dathomirians do the
The face
tattoo
painting.
scarring thing.
No, they don't.
So that's the giveaway.
But all not
Zabraki?
all Zebraki, not Zebraki. The other word, the other name. There's so many. There are 3 different planets these people come from.
Yes.
Indomirians or something like that?
Iridonian.
Iridonians.
Iridonian.
All Iridonians do have that face scarring, and female Iridonians still have the horns, but they also have hair that covers up a lot of them. So it'd be easier to disguise Ilyana as an Iridonian than as a non-Night Sister Dathomirian. In your eyes, Corsarath.
Iridonian. Your name will be less relevant than your heritage. Passing you off as Iridonian would simply require that no one can see that you don't have horns.
Okay.
Passing you off as Ratataki would require a shave of the hair, but I don't think you're down for that.
Just a glare.
And
All right.
passing you off as a not Night Sister Dathomirian is possible, but the most difficult of the 3, because any Dathomirian is immediately suspicious as a Night
Right.
Sister.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. Fine. I mean, do I need to have a? I guess the question then is, are they going to do background checks? Do I actually need an identity?
Yes.
They will need something, but
But they just need something that doesn't come up in their systems, because hopefully they don't literally have everybody in.
they shouldn't have just
Galaxy in
everyone
their
in the Outer
system.
Rim. Yes.
You have someone
Hey.
you could call, though, William.
Who is that?
Weird voice modulating pyramid thing?
Oh yes, that's correct. I actually have a contact for this, specifically for this task.
Okay.
I will be back, and he will make his way to his room.
So Ilyana goes,
Gra-
you have to know what I want first.
Right.
Yeah, sorry. I will be back. What are you looking for in terms of where are you looking to be from?
Iridonia is gonna be easiest. I'm not shaving my fucking head.
All right, Iridonian.
Also, Ratataki are really annoying.
I mean, you say that like that wouldn't be in character.
No, I say that like that's exactly Ilyana's read.
Fair. No, fair. That was me making a meta comment on how Ilyana is kind of annoying sometimes. But yeah, no, Iridonian. Details don't matter as long as they're easy for me to remember.
How many false backgrounds do I think I would need? Do I think everyone else would mostly be passable?
I mean, it would be best to have as many as possible so that you're not giving out the real life information about your allies to the Imperial intelligence. But,
Yeah.
you know, like, as far as absolutely need, Crack's probably fine. Graz and Kitty are questionable. You don't know much about where they're from. Neri's definitely not good. And then you and Avasia, if you want your name, if you want those fake names to have any amount of truth to them.
Yeah. All right, so I will find the Wookiees first.
You turn left.
So, well, actually, as soon, basically 10 seconds after Avasia, now Astrid, left, Graz was going to follow her.
We'll cut to that then.
Okay.
Avasia, where'd you go?
She's going to just, they're like rooms that people have unclaimed, right?
Yeah.
On the ship.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably just going to one of those.
Oh,
All right. Graz, you follow Avasia.
Mhm.
You hear somebody probably pacing, probably grumbling in one of the rooms that nobody's claimed.
Knock on the door.
Yes.
Saber's in the hangar.
Yes.
I'll meet you there.
She'll go to the hangar.
Okay.
And Graz will stay primarily on the defensive and just let Avazia work out whatever she needs to.
Lots of aggro lightsaber swinging.
Yep.
Which is probably good. Being on the defensive is probably good because you're still a little sore after those punches you took.
Yep. Graz is just testing their limits, more or less. How much punishment can I take?
Are you still injured, by the way?
Yeah.
Would you want medical?
Yeah.
Okay.
Took 14 wounds pre-soak.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure what the total went to, so.
And soak was
Soaked enough to knock that down to 8. Actually suffered. 4
Okay,
apiece.
yep.
Yeah.
Nariza's not going to find you, but if you want help,
Okay.
you know where to find them.
Sounds good.
And then you did take a stim.
And then yes, with the stim that
Yep.
knocked it down to they're at 3 out of 20 right now.
Okay,
Prior to Avazia kicking the shit out of him.
fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Korsrath will look for the Wookiees first. Seeing that Graz is sparring with Avasia, he will let that be and then go find Kitty.
Korsrath is a smart
Kitty is
person.
probably in the main room, the lounge table thing.
I'm spinning myself into a web, and I'd rather not be, but I can't dislodge myself without dropping down a pit.
Okay, so this is not something I wanted to ask in front of everybody because I think it would be judgy and mean. But do you need our help getting out
Yes.
as opposed to dragging you further in?
Yes, but quite frankly, I don't think I'm getting out without at least confronting this situation.
Kitty will sort of. The Archon gave you a comm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's call it right now, 2 of us.
All right. Archon, Zilda.
All right. It doesn't even ring once. Yep.
We made a misstep. He understands Wookiee, right? I think.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
And Kitty is clearly between every statement looking to Korsrath to let Korsrath talk first if he wants to. Some of us were recognized on the station, not by bounty hunters, but in such a way that we got a bit entangled with Imperial intelligence.
Yes.
We think we need to find a way to get out before they suspect too much.
What do they know so far?
They have currently identified me as a shadow agent, which is the one bluff that can be made without being called, as long as you know things about Imperial intelligence.
What number?
12.
What else do they know?
They know that I was with Avazia, though they don't know her name. And they know that I am currently entrenched myself within a relief organization, and there are a pair of Wookiees. And I am hunting Admiral Dunbreck.
Do you know where they're do you know where they're located?
I do know where their base is, yes.
I can get you out of this, though it will require me to find different means to the surface. If you don't have a plan that you like, confer amongst yourselves and decide as a group. But if you can't figure out a plan that you like, I can get you out of here. Basically, I will distract Imperial intelligence while you go ahead and head to the planet in your ship. The ship heading down is already marked as a relief organization. You've already got clearance to land from the Hutt cartels, so it should be fine. You'll have to make your way to the spice. You'll have to make your way to the spice operation on your own, but I will be able to follow after I finish dealing with Imperial intelligence.
Give us a moment to confirm with everyone, but we appreciate the help. Thank you.
As I said before, I'll follow your lead. Just let me know.
End the call. It is okay to ask for help. Are you okay?
I'm frustrated with myself and the situation.
Let your anger fuel you to the extent that is useful, I guess, is the calling of our people.
Yeah. Let it fuel you, not rule you, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Kitty would go, let it fuel you, but asterisk, essentially.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
Be cool about it.
Gotta be cool, boy. Real cool.
All right,
Okay.
now I've got
Star
to
Wars
put
musical.
together- now we've got to
Staying
put-
on topic-ish.
Now we've got to put together a second meeting to get everyone's opinions on the second option.
Do you need to go apologize to Avasia?
I think right now she's venting, so I need to not get in the way of that.
Okay. Would you like me to go round everyone up so you have a second to compose yourself and figure out what's going on?
That would be appreciated, yes.
All right. I'm probably going to go find Ilyana first. Best odds she will actually understand what I say.
Graz steps out of the hangar to find Nerys and say, "Can you sew this arm back on?"
It's not Graz's, it's also not Avasia's. You're not certain where he got the arm.
I have questions.
He's a Wookiee, so probably just in day-to-day conversation.
Yeah.
Halfway
so-
across the ship, Crack looks down at his empty socket and goes, "Oh, not again!"
So yeah, as long as I am not busy with helping with getting the mechanic stuff happening.
I feel like that was a joke.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Okay, you don't.
We're
okay.
yeah, no.
I
we're
don't
we're,
know.
we're still on Kitty finding people.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry.
Kitty finds Ilyana.
Knock, knock.
Enter.
Seems like paths are changing again. And
That makes sense.
try to be nice about it. meeting
I'm
me-
not being mean.
I know that you're not. I don't think that everyone else knows.
Like, how am I being mean?
That is for self-reflection and meditation, I think. At least that's what we have the same mentor, actually.
Probably, yeah.
her name?
Shazrayla is not really much for self-reflection.
Raz Shayla, you mean?
Or Raz Shayla. I keep flipping the letters
At
around.
least that's what I assume Rajdelia is trying to say when she doesn't say it.
No,
That's Rayla's
not
her
at
evil twin.
all.
Interesting. And Kitty will move on.
Like, I didn't even say anything mean to anybody in that whole conversation. I'm so confused.
I just like to think that Kitty, while not thinking Ilyana is mean, assumes everyone else thinks Ilyana is mean.
Well, Ilyana is distressing might be a more accurate summary of Kitty's assumption.
I mean, fair.
Kitty
No.
has a very broad definition of using the word mean. It applies to everything from stabbing someone to accidentally going in front of someone in line.
That's like my
Fair.
children say "ow" when they mean no. And
Right.
So it's just like
Yeah, it is essentially the same thing. Maybe it's Wookiee dialect. Probably it's just Kitty, given that
Did
Graz
you-
never seems to do it.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Okay.
do you want milk? Ow. That's not an answer.
Like, well, okay. When I said that makes sense, it's because that's what normally happens. And I'll be honest, the way I saw this conversation going was us being split up, and I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it never was.
So it makes sense that the plan is shifting.
It does. But sometimes when you feel like you're trapped with no way out,
Uh-huh.
and then you find a way out, and everyone goes, well, obviously, that can feel hurtful, I think.
I mean, I guess. Like,
I don't know.
my
I
whole
am
point
told
is
these things.
it legitimately doesn't matter, because whatever plans shift and change decision, it's all going to the same place anyways.
We know
Which is
that.
where we were headed.
They don't believe it, though.
Then they're dumb.
Yes, but we try and work with them and not call them dumb.
I'm trying not to call them dumb as much.
It's appreciated and noticed.
Okay, so anyways,
You've been working really hard, thanks.
Yeah, so so how is it shifting, and who do I need to pretend to be now?
My understanding is that we're going to rethink things to maybe avoid getting super entrenched with Imperial intelligence at all.
Right?
And if we can't, that's why a new groups get sent with Archons on their first assignments. Because
Okay.
the first time we go out, we're going to make mistakes, and we have
Right.
commitment to help. I
Right.
didn't tell you all of that because I think that everyone's going to want to learn that as a group. Probably. Bye.
Okay.
And
luck
Kitty
with
will
all of
actually
that.
probably just calm the rest of the people to avoid extended awkward conversations. New meeting in the meeting room.
So, you are all informed by Kitty. New meeting in the meeting room.
All right.
To whatever thing Star Wars uses in place of minutes. I don't remember.
Minutes.
Clicks?
Clicks is actually a distance.
Yeah, clicks is a distance.
In Voltron, it's a time.
I mean, yeah.
Look, sci-fi and
Clicks are often
desperate need to replace basic numbers.
The term click is often like is often combined with the word tick. Like when people are trying to say, like when people are trying to assign a time to it, rather than saying 2 ticks, which is 2 seconds, they say or 2 turnovers of a cycle, which on computers it's like whenever the computer cycle. But that's anyways. Rather than saying 2 ticks, they say 2 clicks instead.
Legit.
So that actually does happen in sci-fi. They, for whatever reason, they like to say clicks instead of ticks, and I don't know why.
Fair.
But
And again, relabel things like miles and minutes.
Yeah.
whoever arrives first finds Corsorath meditating or trying
Clicks
to.
and ticks and
Liliana
miles
would
and
head
minutes
there fairly
are what sci-fi is
quickly.
made of.
Especially since the meeting was probably called as soon as Kitty walked out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the door opens right behind her.
Probably got a few minutes during that conversation, and then it was like, okay, I've killed
Yeah.
enough time. Let's just tell everyone.
Yep.
I'm just curious how far Crack has gotten with this whole
Not
operation.
very.
Not very? Okay.
He's still in the middle of making the motherboard.
Okay, I failed my first roll, and then I used Natural Tinker to re-roll, and I succeeded by using the Force die on the second roll.
Yes.
And then because roll 20 is acting crazy, I did a third roll by accident, and I got
Yeah.
a triumph on that one, but that one doesn't count.
Yeah, no. So you've succeeded. You're making progress, but you're not making progress fast.
Crack walks in, still working on it. The Crabots are sort of scuttling all over him, taking bits and pieces away, and so he works in with this board floating in front of him, adding and taking things off of it, but at least is present.
Follow after.
I assume Graz and Avazi are probably the last 2 to show up.
Yeah, Avazi is definitely going to be the last one.
So
in.
really quick, like I said, when Ilyana gets into the room with Korsrath, she's just gonna walk in, walk over, sit in the corner that she usually sits in. There'll be about a beat, and then she'll say, "Am I mean?"
You can have a callous disregard for the thoughts of others, but not intentionally malicious, I don't think.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Am I mean? No, you just have a callous disregard for the thoughts of others.
Yeah,
I love the mystic communication circle that we have
right.
established running throughout this game.
Yep.
Crack walks
Oh.
in. Are we talking about how Ilyana is mean?
I have. Yeah.
No. Crack is
And then the
preoccupied.
fight begins.
No.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
But can Crack walk in right about that point?
Sure.
What about Ilyana?
There's just a look.
Nothing relevant.
I think Ilyana's very honest.
That's true.
That is accurate.
Crack will sit down and continue to focus on the circuit board.
All right. We have
Kothrath will sit and try and meditate
waiting.
till everyone's
Avasia and Graz finally arrive. Avasia with a slight sheen of sweat. Graz not, because fur.
Yep.
So we have a secondary option. Thankfully, Archon Zilda's offered a way out from my inept stumblings.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. Can you describe these people to me?
Imperial Intelligence?
Yeah.
The agency or specific
Physically.
individuals?
Yes.
Mostly human,
Were
one chiss.
most of them humans?
Mostly human, one chiss.
A large group of humans and a single chiss?
Does that fit my experience
Of what?
of the vision I saw of Zilda killing a bunch of people?
Yeah? I mean,
Okay, never mind.
the-
Problem solved.
the chiss doesn't, but I mean, that
No,
could have been
but I
somewhere
mean-
else.
Problem solved. Yep, that'll do it, and then we'll get. Yep.
Oh,
Ah.
I feel like I am missing some steps here. What is the second plan
Well,
option?
yes. If we decide that this is the better option, which I suspect most of us will, myself included, Archon Zilda has offered to distract Imperial intelligence and allow us the opening to take.
She
the ship
actually
down.
does that, by the way. He just raises her
Finger
hand
quotes.
and does the quotation.
I like the image that she's still sitting in a very distant corner.
Yes, 100%.
And allow us the opening to take the ship down to the surface under the guise of the relief organization that we've already got. Trade-off, this does not allow us to land nearly as close to our objective as the other end, but on the net trade of that, we do not have to pass under Imperial scrutiny, while the Archon is dealing with Imperial intelligence himself.
It will alert them as soon as we leave, though, that something is wrong because you are not following through on the promise.
I believe that is.
That's not
Zilda's
going to
end
be a
of the-
problem
I believe that is Zilda's end of the.
Why not?
equation.
Fair.
because they're all going to be dead.
Why?
Because Zilda's going to kill them,
Oh. Well, that seems like that ties that up quite nicely.
right?
So, Zilda's waiting for our step in this regard. So, if you would like to take his offer to fix my mistakes, then we will just have to contact him and let him know that's where we're heading.
I think we should still complete this board just in case there are any checks of planet
That
side.
will probably still be useful, yes.
Yes. That will. Well, that depends on him. In the future for you, you will not be able to pull that same again
I
with
might
intelligence.
depending on how much information they're able to get out before he kills them all.
Yes. That's why I said it depends on him.
It definitely depends on Zilda.
And maybe it's a better option not to have.
Not to have. Oh, I see what you mean. Not to have that fall back into old ways.
Potentially.
I agree.
If all of us are agreed that this is the better option, I will contact Zilda.
Do we have... He has already provided us with our clearance to the planet, yes?
Yeah.
GM,
Yeah. He said the ship's cleared.
Mm-hmm.
the ship is cleared.
What we
All right.
do not know is where I'm trying to remember what we know as far as like the rest of the mission. We don't know exactly where. Then our thing is to.
So information that you know.
Yeah.
You know where you know that Zilda knows where the spice operation is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know that you know Zilda knows where the spice operation is. You know that the ship has clearance down to the planet. You
Mhm.
don't know where the Imperial supply shuttle is going to be landing. And you don't know the forces that will be on the Imperial supply shuttle.
Yeah.
But presumably the supply shuttle will be landing near the spice operation, which Zilda knows where that is. You guys don't know where it is yet.
Okay.
Well, once you get the information to Zilda to start his leg, just make sure he provides what we need, and we head planet side and let the Force guide us where we need to go from there.
All right.
With that last half of that last sentence, a glance over at Ilyana.
What?
Can you tell your
We'll-
visions?
we'll-
Can
we'll
they?
need we may need additional guidance once we're planet side.
All I know, if you can get me visuals, I might be able to place because I've seen. Hold
For
on, I
shorter
need to go
range,
specifically and see. I've seen sort of the internal workings in a quick flash, but that I might if I don't know. Is there anything that I saw that would be that if I saw visual of the outside, I might be able to place it?
No, you didn't see
Okay.
enough.
Okay.
well, you and Kitty are best for that sort of thing.
I'll see what I can do. It's not some I already did it once. It doesn't tend to like it when you try and look.
Doesn't work better with
times.
repeated. All
Not
right.
necessarily.
We'll go off what Zilda has for us then, I suppose.
All right. The web unravels, and I have not fallen to my death. So.
Yet.
You still got to make planet side.
We'll pull out the comm and call Zilda.
Yes.
All right. We're agreed to go with your solution. Where do we need to end up planet side?
Hold 1 second. You hear the sound of a lightsaber igniting and then something getting cut in two. Step outside your ship first.
I had that on speaker for everyone, so I'll go head for the
Right.
outside.
So you step through the airlock and you see Zilda standing there holding this ruby red lightsaber with the two security droids that have been cut in half. He disengages it, turns. Right. Gorsarath, come here.
I step outside.
And he holds up his lightsaber. You see now it's a fairly basic looking lightsaber. The primary difference is that it's been crafted out of some sort of animal bone. Like it was like kind of like somebody carved a bone hilt and then inserted all of the design of a lightsaber into it. It's very crude, and as you could also see that the blade itself was very unstable and sort of almost jagged. Not like how Ceres's is like a flamberge kind of thing, but more like it was unstable, kind of like Kylo Ren's in the most recent movies. And he sort of holds the lightsaber up. So I'm gonna have to provide a death for Shadow 12. You got any part of you that you don't mind losing? He sees the hesitation and he reaches over and grabs one of your shoulder pauldrons. Armor.
Sorry. I was assuming you meant flesh.
Eliana just starts laughing.
Wait, so all the rest of us can hear this?
I assumed you all followed.
We're right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When
Cracks.
Yeah, Avazia would have stepped forward at that.
When we work with that back home, we usually mean flesh.
Crack's head snaps up.
Yeah, I'm not
Where he's
back.
been distracted.
I'm not your former master.
I appreciate that. He will he will pop off one of his pauldrons.
Takes the pauldron. Takes out his lightsaber, ignites his lightsaber, scars it a bit. Turns it back off. All right. Looks at you again, sort of tilts his head. No, yours is too unique. You wouldn't happen to have like a spare broken lightsaber, would you?
Actually, he pulls out the spare broken lightsaber.
Oh shit, that's great. It takes that too.
And that's a Sith lightsaber, so.
Right, so I will signal you where to go here, and he hands you a holodisc. This has the coordinates on it for the spice compound. Looks around, ignites the lightsaber, and swings a few times. And so you guys have seen a variety of people use lightsabers.
Uh-huh.
Ceres uses her lightsaber like it's a sword. Like a proper sword. She uses stances and like forms and things. He uses his lightsaber almost like it's a claw, like it's an extension of him, and just with what seems like one wide swoop, he scars the left and right hand sides of the airlock that you're all standing in, as if there has been a massive fight here.
Dope.
Disengages it. All right, so I will see you there. Look for something probably on fire heading towards the planet side.
This scenario's got them on edge, so I would expect increased resistance wherever we end up.
Yeah, security is probably going to be high once you get down there, and once we get down there. But at the very least, their listening post won't be able to give them a warning, so.
Thank you.
See you on the other side, then.
Yep. No worries. He sort of waves his three-clawed hand at the group of you. So get back in, you'll get my signal, and when I give it, get out of here.
Nod.
Crack, Nerys, that's your signal. Let's get this thing prepared.
Very good. Do we have time to finish up with this programming, or should we do that planet side?
I would say work on it in the cockpit, and then wait for the signal. Be prepared to drop everything.
Yep, I'll head up to the cockpit.
Crack will take his Sudoku puzzle board.
Corsarath, where are they at?
Say again? Oh yes, I'll issued the location of where we ended up.
And to give you a signal of how to get back in?
Knock twice.
Got it. He folds his arms back underneath the massive cloak so that his lightsaber hand is now hidden, as well as the bits that he took off Corserath, and heads back into the station.
Corserath offers a sideways glance at Avazia and this sort of defeated shrug.
There are 2 destroyed battle droids on either side of your airlock if you want to take those parts.
I look down.
I mean, Kitty is definitely bringing those in if no one else did.
Corserath will start pulling them in.
There's no possible way Crack would not.
I was gonna say it's crack.
Yeah.
We'll encourage Crack to go ahead and get
Crack.
the ship ready to bolt if the rest of us can carry stuff in. But
Sure. Yeah. So we can, as long as we can get those on board, we can go ahead and.
You've got parts.
Nerys is piloting.
Yep. There is a pilot.
All right, so you guys head back inside. You've got a question mark amount of time to plan, or to prepare.
Corserath walks to his room and collapses onto the bed.
Graz will wait by given the way the Shio's laid out, if you're going for a quick landing and exit, is that airlock or do we have
it'll be
a docking ramp or
the ramp off the ship is that ramp that here I'll pull you guys back over to the
one in the cargo bay?
No, it's the one. So there are 2 ways off the ship other than the airlocks. There's a boarding ramp that is in the living quarters area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is also a lowering ramp in the hangar. But that's also like a hangar bay doors
For a fighter to
for
drop
a
out
fighter
of.
ship, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So yeah, Graz will just wait by the docking door in the passenger bay. Then
When you guys are going to be landing at like a city, not like in the middle of the battleground.
Okay.
Zilda's the one that's going to be landing in the middle of the battleground.
Yep.
Fair. Fair enough.
that's why they send Archons with us on our first mission.
All right. So we launch, we land, we find the Imperials. Hopefully before the spice installation gets too close in.
Seems simple enough.
All right. Nerys, you'll be piloting, yes?
Yes. And Nerys is kind of bustling around, getting their physician's gear ready because I think I had set it out somewhere.
Yeah, you
So
put
I'm gathering everything.
you put it. You went to the med bay and put it there.
Listen,
so that it's in the med bay.
symbolic.
All right.
I'll bring it back.
Crack, if there's anything you can do to try and scan for incoming vessels, that sort of thing, tag some transponder codes as we're coming in, maybe try and get a better pinpoint on where these Imperials are landing.
Absolutely.
And then Avazia, Corserath, and I will be the front line. And we will try and take this whole thing apart as quickly as possible, I assume. Other thoughts or contributions?
Are we all disembarking, or should some of us stay with the ship?
That is an excellent question. If anybody was to stay with the ship, it would probably be
Someone who can fly it.
yes. My
Right,
vote would be for you, Crack.
I can also coordinate the communications from here as well.
Hmm. What do the rest of you think? Should someone stay with the ship for security's purposes, or do we need everybody?
I
Do we
think
need
that
all
would be a better
hands?
idea, because if someone gets on the ship, that person's going to be killed.
Holly, I apologize. I couldn't hear the first part of what you said.
Oh, sorry. She said, I think it's a bad idea because if someone else gets on the ship, whoever is there will be killed.
Yes.
Fair.
Valid.
We'd
That's-
be leaving a sitting duck.
That said, if somebody gets on the ship and nobody's here, then we all lose a ship.
That would also be assuming we leave the ship groundside. I could drop you all off, take off again, and remain in orbit.
You can, and just to be clear, when you're docked at a facility, you can get your yeah, somebody could still steal it, but it's harder for people to steal from a dock than it is
Yeah.
from out
If
in the
it's
field.
just parked in the field.
If-
Yeah, right.
Though, would that
If we
cause-
do leave someone, I'll stay. I actually can fly really well. Because it's an agility based skill.
It
And
is.
my agility is 4.
Not intelligent. I thought I could fly. shit.
Yeah, I was looking at it because I thought it was intelligence based, and then I was like, oh,
No, remember,
shit, I can fly real good even though I have no skill in it.
in Star Wars, you fly ships like they're airplanes.
I just don't ask me to navigate, but in terms of the actual piloting, I'm good, and I might have a better chance of actually seeing in advance if somebody shows up.
Remember, every Skywalker is a knucklehead who flies like a jackass and is somehow an ace pilot.
That's fair.
Question on the docking thing though, if we do dock, then is it more difficult or dangerous to get off the planet again because we're at somewhere official and they can lock us?
If you're that is the trade-off of docking at a place.
Yeah.
You dock at a place, your ship is more secure, but also your ship is more secure.
Yeah.
Yep,
We
yeah,
have to
yeah.
we have to wait for valet to pull it around, and we're
Yes.
sitting there as the bad guys are running up on us. Hurry up, hurry
And-
up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Once
I know we should have tipped them.
Yeah, once we start making attacks on facilities and freeing people, it is going to be difficult to.
If they find out it's you.
Yes.
On the other hand, if we're doing that, we need as many of our fighters there as possible.
Yes.
All right. Well, we have 2 options then.
And as you say, 2 options then. Out the cockpit, you see a section of the space station explode outward into space.
Signal.
And that would be the
I have a
distraction.
strong sense within the Force that we've been sent a signal by our mentors.
Me too.
Right.
You see
I-
you see a very surprised looking Chiss dying in the void of space.
Okay.
That's why I didn't see the chits.
Because he got fucking vented.
Oh, now it's also clear.
I will start heading out because
Stations are like that sometimes.
Make a piloting roll.
Yep.
Okay.
Difficulty 2.
Can I make one to
Difficulty
assist?
Yes.
Avazia will go to get/check on Coursera.
I'm gonna do I want to do it now? Piloting.
Coursera has probably collapsed face up
Oh.
on the bed,
do
just
it.
staring at the ceiling.
I was on my Crabots page. That's why I didn't have anything.
This is
I have to
awesome.
wait until after you do this, right? To know if I get things.
Yeah, because I can,
Yeah.
as a co-pilot, I
Hang
can
on.
help. So,
I will wait. Hey, that looks good.
okay. Oh, ignore the light side.
Okay.
Shouldn't
Uh,
have
What
started
do I
it, sorry.
get?
So you're gonna get a boost die and an upgrade.
Woo!
As Avazia walks in, he sort of doesn't quite look, but seems to acknowledge that she's there. Well, if you're going to kill me, do it now.
We don't have time for any of that. Part of the station just exploded. That's our signal.
Piloting planet or space?
Space.
Space.
Perfect time for you to kill me then.
I'm not
Currently,
going
Nerys,
to
you're in the
kill
one
you.
place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism.
Space.
I just have to say, I
I
really
mean,
appreciate.
that's not true in Star Wars, though.
Unfortunately not.
course,
I really appreciate that the response came across in such a way that I wasn't sure whether we didn't have time for the actual killing or the if you're going to kill me attitude.
Corsair sits up.
Vazia will say, believe it or not, murder is not always how I solve problems.
Oh, I know that about you.
All previous evidence to the contrary.
But I also know that I have made tremendous errors today, and I wouldn't be
Yes, you
surprised
have.
if you decided that it was time to end me.
I'd really appreciate it if you would stop talking like that. I'm not going to kill you or harm you. And honestly, we can get into this later, because we really don't have time right now.
You've got until we get to the surface.
How long would that be?
Moments.
Yeah.
So the ship disconnects and flies down. Are you heading
Yay.
towards the? Are you heading towards the? So as a reminder, the station is tethered to the planet via a freight elevator, effectively.
Okay.
Another way you could have gone down if you wanted. There is a population center on planet where that elevator connects. Are you heading towards there, which is where docks would be? Are you heading to a different location? Or are you heading straight towards the spice facility, which you do have coordinates for?
Yeah, and we know that the Imperial ship is probably coming. Yeah, this is weird. The Imperial ship is probably going to end up here, right?
At the spice facility.
Or is it going straight there?
It's going to go straight to the spice facility.
Okay. I'd probably head toward the spice facility then. I'll like confirm with whoever is in the cockpit with me.
That
sounds good to me.
I mean, Kitty didn't leave. So.
Actually, I'll just do it over ship comms because that's what we had a whole thing about this.
Although I like that Nariz is like looking around, it's like, I'm gonna ask a question. Looks over and sees Crack. Crack's like, hi, and Nariz is like, ship's comm.
Yeah. Heading to the spice mine facility, whatever it's called.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Be there soon.
Excellent. And Crack will be monitoring other ships as Graz suggested.
Right. Go ahead and give me a computers check, difficulty 2. Crack.
I would like to get by with a little help from my friends.
Okay.
I don't know if that means droids
I
or
have no
force point
skill
or...
in computers.
No, my crab bots.
Okay.
Help me with computers.
Like,
2 success and an advantage.
It's like, is that droids or drugs, Crack? Come on.
Yes.
So, 2 successes. Your sensor readings pick out a couple of different things. One, the space station is on full alert. Because something just blew up. Fortunately, that alert is internally focused, not externally focused. Secondly, there are a number of ships, including a number of ships that are detaching from the space station at roughly the same time. You notice that the Queen Harlot is one of them, as it is deciding, you know what, space station's blowing up. We're probably going to leave now.
You don't need to be here.
Wait, this isn't, this isn't our scene. And you see a partially damaged Imperial starfighter racing towards the planet's surface, slightly on fire.
Where is it headed?
It looks like it's headed towards open field. Sort of open ground between the spice facility and the planetary connection point center place.
That's
Spotted
our boy
an,
Zilda.
Yeah. Wait, is it, or do we think it's somebody else making a break
We-
for it?
I don't think we know.
That is almost certainly Zilda.
Okay.
You don't know for
Okay.
certain, but he did say, "Look for me. I'll probably be on the way down there in something that's on fire."
Okay. All right. Zilda appears to have made their exit. They are on fire and heading planetward.
Where? And
There,
Yeah.
and Crack will indicate.
yeah, okay. I will reroute then to kind of like intercept that, or yeah, like meet down there.
All right. So you all feel the ship jostle a little bit as it alters course, and then
Yeah,
within a few.
I will.
Go
Yeah, update the rest of the crew with intercoms. Think Zilda's in the Imperial ship. It's going down in the field, in a field, heading over there.
Sounds fair.
Have we picked up on anything that might be our Imperial courier as well?
Crack.
There are a great deal of spaceships leaving the station. Nothing that appears specifically to indicate the courier, although there could be couriers on any of those ships. Is Zilda's ship the only one that appears to be going planetward other than us?
At the moment, yeah.
There don't seem to be any others making planetfall.
But the courier could already be down there, according to Zelda.
Yes.
Absolutely. It doesn't seem to be anything that we can shoot out of the sky.
Not that we have guns, actually, right?
Oh, you have guns.
We do.
We
We
do.
do?
Some guns,
Oh,
but not
okay,
enough
this
to,
changes
deal
things.
with a blockade.
Cool.
You've got enough guns to defend yourself if you're attacked. Not enough guns to take on a battleship.
You
Fair,
can take out
fair,
a
fair.
shuttle, though, or something.
Oh yeah, like a
Um,
shuttle, sure.
Yeah.
Another freighter, maybe.
Korsarath looks at Evazia.
So as all this is going on, Avazi is dragging Korsarath by whatever
And
limb.
he's not exactly resisting.
Okay.
The other
she's
shoulder
dragging-
pauldron that wasn't taken off.
Yeah. She's dragging him out of the room as she is yelling at him. Fine, we're doing this now. During any point of this, you could have said that you needed to talk to me and consult me about this, and we could have tried to discuss other methods instead of the one that you chose for everyone without consulting anyone else, which could have meant death for anyone.
And I acknowledge that.
It was a stupid plan. And next time you need to consult me or anyone else that you can consult before you make the decision for the rest of the group.
Yes.
It's really annoying that you're not arguing with me here.
Because you're not wrong.
I mean, I know I'm not wrong, but
I'm mad you're not fighting.
Get angry, damn it.
And also grow a backbone, goddammit.
yes.
His backbone only exists while there's a fight happening and is not right now, as far as he's concerned.
Let's just get ready for this.
Ship
As
begins
she
to
is
shake as
dragging him down the hallway.
ship begins to shake as you enter atmosphere. It'd probably be best to grab onto something.
You are absolutely correct.
Stop saying that!
Hang on
Gaz
to
is holding a
something.
door frame. Hmm.
So yeah, the
Kitty is properly seated for a landing.
yeah, there you go. So
Smart.
Nereus, you can see you see where the ship is coming down. It doesn't look like it's going to be able to slow down enough to stop.
Our that ship, you mean?
Yeah, the one that you're following.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna then try and sort of land away from it because there will be an explosion.
And you see this ship nail into the ground. It just buries nose first. Turf digs up and just sort of gathers around and piles up, and it just sort of slides eventually to a halt, making this long trench in the ground as you're coming in.
That was terrible.
It's a landing. Do it how
No.
you can.
It was a very slow crash.
That is what a landing is.
No.
A controlled crash.
That your pilot is saying this is concerning.
There is a long pause, and Crack says, "I think I should be the pilot from now on."
My dad had his pilot's license for a while. He let it expire. And that is what a landing is. It's a controlled crash. It's
Crashing.
great. I love this.
Crashing very smoothly.
Yes,
Falling with style.
Style. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
You have already made your roll, so you managed to bring the ship in for a smooth landing. Are you landing near the trench or near the ship?
Near the probably near the trench. I don't want to get too well. What I think there's a chance that there is going to be more explosions because he specifically said fire, lots of fire. I don't want to be near the fire, but I want to be close enough where we can react quickly if that's not him on there. I'm not sure what the
you can land a safe distance.
Okay.
With the guns pointed at the ship.
Yes, yeah. So I'll probably go head for the ship then,
So
if I can get a little bit.
Basically, you land looking at the ship.
Okay.
So that all the guns can aim at it if need to.
All right. Hope if that's him on the ship, we need to go meet him. If that's not him on the ship, we need to make sure they don't have a chance to give a warning. I can stay here and man the artillery.
Open the passenger bay exit.
Got it. I will open it.
The ramp lowers down, and once the ramp is fully lowered, the airlock you're standing at, there's a little like red plastic thing on the side, flips to green once it's able to be opened.
Shunk. Yeah, Graz is just running for the crashed fighter.
All right. You get about halfway there when a chunk of it flies into the air. And Zelda crawls out from the wreck and gets on the ground.
Graz will just go grab him and start hauling him towards the Shio.
He's perfectly capable of moving on his own.
Okay.
He doesn't. Weirdly, for someone that was just in a wreck, it doesn't look like he was injured at all.
All good, Archon.
Certainly, the force sustains. He follows you towards the...
And also with you.
You get a sense that he is, in a very literal sense, basically saying he buffed himself with the force so that he didn't take any damage.
Right. Force airbag.
Because Zelda has one method of interacting with the force, and it's making himself tougher and or quicker. And that's it.
Yep. Good man.
Beautiful.
All right. So yeah. Once we're back on, just calm the bridge. All right, we're on board. Let's get to the spice facility.
Right. I will head us that way. Take off again.
The passenger bay closes up, the ship lifts off and heads off. Zelda, next to you, Graz, sort of, tilts his neck back and forth, and you hear a cracking as he pops his neck. Right, so, everyone alive?
At
Yes.
the moment, of course, it says.
So, you're heading to the facility or to someplace else?
Facility.
Good. Let's get up to the cockpit. See how. Starts to walk, realizes he doesn't know what the fuck he's going, turns back at Graz.
Graz will just point.
Okay. He's never been on your ship
Stairs
before.
all the way up.
You.
Follow the, you go past the acid burns and you'll be right there.
He can get all the way up there without ever seeing the acid burn.
There you go.
Because he's coming in the passenger deck and the acid burn
It's fair. It's fair.
on the crew deck.
Going to want to follow that staircase immediately on your left. On the next floor, you're going to switch to the staircase next to it.
Yep.
And then keep going.
After a few moments of guidance. Presumably with the rest of you that were down there. Moves up towards the cockpit. Good flying, everyone. that was flying.
Thank you. I have us heading towards the spice manufactory.
Good.
Yes, thank you. Yours was terrible.
It was less flying and more falling.
Exactly. That's by definition very bad flying.
How close should we be? How far away should we be worrying about guns?
The anti-air turrets won't have an effective range. Have an effective range of. As long as we stay outside that range, if we're intending to go hostile. If one of you is convincing a liar, I have a script I'm just not.
What?
Okay.
Oh,
Do
deception.
any of us have the deception?
Coercion would be the skill.
Coercion?
There
Oh,
is a
not
deception.
deception?
Oh, is it?
Ooh,
Yeah, sorry.
I'm.
Is there
gonna say,
is there a
I-
deception skill? Sorry.
There is a
There
deception
is.
skill.
Deception is a
Deception-
cunning skill.
But
Coercion is like, listen up, motherfuckers.
It would
You're
be a-
not going to pay any attention to me.
That's right. Coercion is intimidation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I mean,
a
I also
deception
have-
would be the skill.
yeah, I also have negotiation. If it's just like
It would be deception.
it would be deception. Okay, I'm not great at deception, but
Avazia has deception.
So
Okay.
does Graz.
I can force a personality, but not necessarily the best at lying.
I'm not great.
So the question is this more convincing in Shiriwook or common?
Common.
Basic.
Oh, probably common.
Or basic, yeah.
Basic. Yep. Mhm.
Sorry. Sci-fi noun alternation.
Yep, no, it's fair. Right, so, Asia, are you stepping up?
I'm a decent liar.
Good. So, when they hail us asking for what we want, let them know that we are the Horizon Relief Organization. We have been tasked with overseeing a safety and health inspection of the facility at the request of. Second, let me get the name right. Where is. Sorry. I was in the middle of a thing and then I realized I didn't actually have the name that I needed to give you.
it's okay.
Thank you.
Does anybody
I was
remember
about to-
what does anybody remember what cartel I said? Oh, the Besadi,
Oh.
that's it. Besadi.
Wasn't it Basadi?
Yeah, Besadi.
Yeah.
Besadi.
Yeah.
Besadi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really sorry about the misspellings. I was trying to get it down before I forgot it.
All good.
Let them know that we're here. We are the Horizon Relief Organization. We are here for a safety and health inspection. A safety and health inspection at the behest of Cesalio Besadi. And then give them this, and then he hands a transponder over to Neres.
What's the pronunciation for this name?
Gladio.
Cesalio
Cesalio.
Besadi.
Desalio Basadi. Okay,
I will
I'm gonna
type it out.
butcher that.
I spelled it phonetically.
Just call him Sal.
God damn it.
There, mine might be easier to pronounce.
Confusing
actually.
enough.
The actual
Thank you.
the actual spelling might be easier to pronounce.
I mean, they are space mafia. It's not that
You're right.
far off.
No, it's not.
I spelled it like Sicily because that's what it sounded like to me.
It's Cesalio. Cesalio, not Cesalio.
Cesalio Basadi.
All right,
Cesalio
I will
Basadi.
take that code that he gives me. Make sure it looks like pretty standard
And
probably.
he looks at Avasia. You're going to have to sell this, otherwise they will unload on us with the anti-air guns.
I will do my best.
Good. Motivation. It's important.
Dear God.
It's hard to read. It's hard to read Kalishi, because their faces are hidden behind masks and also not in the right place. But you feel like he's grinning at you.
Also, speaking of facial expressions, if you are listening to this but not watching it, it is worth pulling up wherever we have it streamed on YouTube just to see Holly's expression at that moment because it was amazing.
I feel like it mirrored Avasia's expression.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that was.
Probably.
I feel like it was in character, and it was just nonverbal acting. That was awesome.
There's this ever so slight smirk from Corsarath as he looks over at Avazia and just gives this, now you know how it feels, look.
Everyone else, I would recommend
Or
finding a
swords.
safe place that can withstand glances out the window. 4 anti-air turrets firing at the same
So dead center of the ship then.
or reinforced
Be on
bulkheads.
guns, or is it not even worth bothering?
Ion cannons might help if you have them.
We have
What guns?
one. I
Yeah, we
think.
have an ion cannon.
Yes, you have one.
Yes,
Roz?
we do.
Someone
I am.
with gunnery.
I don't have gunnery.
I
Anyone-
do.
So anyone who would like to be on guns, be on guns. Don't have them primed, but ready to.
Crack, that sounds like that's your job.
All right.
The biggest concern we have with approaching this way, if there's significant damage to the facility by the time the courier arrives, if they're there, they will not land.
Yes.
We're going
No
to,
slow crashing, Nerys.
and in order to make the statement that I want to make, this place needs to be a crater when which unfortunately your ship does not seem to have the firepower.
Vasia can do it.
If we pull this off, we can theoretically take control of their own turrets and shoot down the courier as it approaches.
The courier is filled with explosives.
Ah,
Shooting it down, not the best idea.
Yes,
We-
we want to
we need
take
those.
it when it's on the ground.
We need those to make it a crater later.
Yes.
So hopefully, Crack, we will not need those guns.
Very good.
Also hits
Just
the
in
ion cannon.
case.
ion cannons don't tend to leave a mark.
They just disrupt the
Oh, okay.
computers.
They're the-
I wasn't aware. Okay.
Yeah,
They're
so
like
for anyone who's not
the
aware,
blue ones that
yeah,
disable
for anyone
stuff.
who's not aware, ion cannons do stress damage to, or do strain damage to computers, and no damage at all to physical or biological entities.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So all they're good at is
It's the
they're-
EMP.
they're EMP guns. They kill electronics.
There's a difference, by the way, between an ion cannon and an ionization cannon.
Yeah, no. Ionization cannon turns you into ions.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just
Ion cannon
evaporate,
kills computers.
motherfucker.
Cool.
That is something that you do need to clarify. They did name two things very similar that do two very different things.
One's an EMP, one's a disintegration gun.
But you're flying towards. You're flying towards. Jeremy, were you raising your hand?
No.
All right, cool. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify because
No, you're good. I was checking. I have a, I don't know. I have a wound on my arm that I don't know how it got there, so I was distracted by that.
Ah,
Everyone's getting
Sometimes
attacked
you'll
by
raise your
ninjas.
hand, and right now, because you've got a background that's
your hand is
Fair.
I wasn't sure and didn't want to.
No, it's
Yeah,
fine.
no. Oh, yeah, no. I thought it was like more sideways-ish, so I didn't realize it looked like going straight
yeah,
up.
well, I could only see it flickering, and I'm bad at social cues.
Fair.
Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
It's fine. It was drawn to my attention, and that's a good thing. So you're heading towards place. The comms ring as they are pinging your ship. Do you answer the comms?
Yep.
It's all your choices. You might just like panic and not answer and get tired of it. It'd be great.
Listen, I'm very close to that. It's good.
Incoming unidentified ship incoming. Please state your business.
I look over at Avasia.
All right, that's me.
Yeah.
Vazia will take a deep breath, step up. We are the Horizon Relief Organization. We've been tasked with conducting a safety and health inspection at the request of
Cesalio.
Thank you, Cesalio Vasadi.
Send over the data burst.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, give me a deception roll. Difficulty 2.
Is Neri's assisting?
Dang it.
But you could spend a light side point if you wanted.
I would do that. This feels like a time to do that.
Oh,
Or
Or
not.
we're good.
success is incorrect.
Yay!
There's a long period of silence. Horizon Relief Organization vessel, you are cleared to land docking bay 3. And landing coordinates
Confirmed.
are sent to
Yeah. I'll acknowledge that we have confirmed and head us in that direction.
As the communication cuts off, Zilda pats Avasia on the back very roughly. Good job, good job. We're not dead.
Avasia will smile at Corserath, and that's how it's done.
Should I start
Fire-
firing?
Miss Avazia?
Pirates are notably not
Nope.
Imperial intelligence.
Stand down, Crack.
Okay. Let me know when.
Not
Stand
yet.
down means don't fire. We're done with that. We got through.
Okay. Crack crawls back out of the gun turret.
How
Presumably,
disappointed does Crack look?
Not really, not at all.
Okay, good.
He's not excited to shoot things. He just couldn't hear what happened because he was down in a turret.
fair. Now that we've done that, depending on how long it takes to get in, look at the group around, probably up in the cockpit. Since the ruse worked, we can go in and see how far we get with that intact. Or
Oh, it's probably not going to survive first contact. I just wanted them
Mm.
not to shoot us down on the way in.
all right.
We don't exactly
But
look. We
the
don't
ship
exactly
guns-
look like a Hut cartel inspection group.
The ship guns are much less likely to shoot us.
Yes, and it's much easier to cover up any external damage if we slice through them on the inside of the facility rather than from the outside.
It's
So I should-
external damage at that point.
Have Crack start firing once we are in.
No,
No.
not unless they have turrets. And if they have turrets on the inside of the docking bay, absolutely.
All right.
But as you're flying towards the docking bay, that's where we're going to end for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.